Happy Monday, everyone. Or actually, I'm not going to say happy Monday because...
It's okay.
We're wearing the blue. Rochelle's got the blue.
You can kind of see it. You can see it a little bit there. You know, we still have the blue because we're still supportive.
We are still
the
supportive.
Lions made it this far to begin with, which is quite a long time since we've seen that.
And they gave all of us fans quite the game to watch, quite the season to watch. So we are so proud of you, Lions.
Very, very, very proud. You are in our hearts, forever on our field and Ford Field, we'll say.
Yes. There we go.
But listen, we're going to turn that frown upside down on 3 p.m. At 3 p.m. with Studio 10. We definitely are going to talk a little bit about the Lions, recap, and about that game last night. I know Justin's going to have a great take for us on that as well.
Yes, he does. He's ready.
But again, our hearts are still with them. But you know what always cheers me up? A little retail therapy.
Oh,
okay?
Yes.
Anytime, anywhere, any season. So in Old Town, I'm sure you've all heard of Polka Dots Boutique. They're going to be joining us today on the show.
They've got great stuff in there.
Great stuff, and today we get to see all of it, so I'm going to make sure I have my wallet with me as well.
Make sure to tell me to hide my wallet so that I don't go spending.
Yeah, they probably won't leave here with the clothes that they came with, but they are going to show us a lot of different clothing as well as accessories. And always something I like to say, it's not just about what you wear, but it's how you wear it. So Jenny, from the owner of the store, is going to be joining us, and she's going to show us how to mix and match a lot of these different patterns, these different fabrics, and why they're great to have during this time of year too. Yeah,
well, patterns are very hard to match, I feel like. I always stay in the solids because I never know how to do it. You and Nicole, though, are very good at wearing the patterns, so I'm going to have to tune in and
take some tips.
Spice up the wardrobe.
Yeah, and make sure you make some room in your closet too as well. I don't know if I can fit anything else, but hopefully
I've got to spring clean.
Yeah.
But that's exciting. Okay, so polka dots.
We got some polka dots plus our Studio 10 tidbit. We're going to talk about some of the tips and tricks to solving a Rubik's Cube. Definitely another thing you want to take a pen and paper out, and we're going to do that as well. Yeah, and we've got a great show, so make sure you guys tune in today. And if you happen to miss anything, that's okay. Just head to our YouTube at WI Like Studio 10. Follow us on everything, and we can't wait to see you there.
Sounds good. We're looking forward to it. Thank you, Rochelle. We're going to see Justin pretty shortly here, do a little swap. But yes, at WI Like Studio 10 is where you can go for all of the videos that Studio 10 is going to have if you want to spice up your wardrobe like Rochelle was saying. And also if you want to learn how to solve a Rubik's Cube, which is very, very challenging. I've looked up tutorials on my own to try to figure it out, and it's just too hard. So if you want to find out some more easier tips, tune into Studio 10 at 3 o'clock today. And of course, there are their social media pages or their different handles. So go check that out, and you can learn more about everything going around the Mid-Michigan area. But we have Justin here. And Justin, how are you feeling today?
You know, I'm good because at the end of the day, we set records this year for the franchise. We did a whole lot. The Detroit Lions, of course, I'm talking about. And that was great to have. And so the ride is always fun at the very end because it's, high stakes. Obviously, it stinks to blow the big lead, but to even have been there and been in the conversation for the Super Bowl as one of the remaining 4 teams in the National Football League this year, if you would have told anybody we would get to the NFC title game at the start of the season, I think anybody would have taken it. And so be happy with where we got, and hopefully next year there may be a few coaching personnel changes, things like that. We can bounce back. I'm very excited, looking forward to that. That's the silver lining for us here, and so we're happy to have that.
We are excited, and there is a little bit of a silver lining in the forecast.
Yes, exactly right. That's where we're headed. So we've got a little bit of sunshine maybe working in late today, and then as we move on in the week, we're going to be going back to dry weather, and it's staying above normal, mild, heading into February. And so that's a trend we've been in now for several days, and we're going to continue to be moving forward too, and so good news coming our way. As far as that goes, unless you're a snow lover, in which case you're not going to have many opportunities. Maybe tomorrow, and that's about it.
Yeah, well, we'll head outside. We'll talk about that small system that is on the way.
Yeah, a fairly weak one, and there are some clouds ahead of that system, which we've got out now. Those have sort of blanketed mid-Michigan lately, and so that's what we've kind of got going on right now. So out the door, you can see temperatures have risen to 34. It's been kind of slow going this afternoon. Not a lot of movement temperature-wise the past several hours, but that's because we're just still blanketed by these clouds. As we get into the very late day, if we're able to poke a little sunshine or at least thin the cloud cover a bit, we should make the upper 30s, which is what I still expect for our forecast high. They've got 36 in Charlotte, so on the way there, Mason 35 and 34 right now in Jackson. You can see that there is much warmer air out to the west. Places like North Platte Platte, Nebraska, Rapid City, South Dakota, they're up into the 60s, and so that's pretty mild for them this time of year. We're not going to get quite that warm in our forecast, unfortunately, but you see numbers like Minneapolis and Des Moines, mid-40s. We could close in on some of those numbers even this week before we hit the weekend of the first weekend, that is, of February. And so the satellite radar, fairly quiet around mid-Michigan, not a lot going on other than these thick clouds. You got to look off to the north and west to see that next system coming. You can kind of see some of the precipitation in the northwest upper peninsula up there and off the end of Lake Superior. That's where that system's working down, a slow-moving front that's going to skate into mid-Michigan very late tonight. Probably starts snowing very early tomorrow morning before the sun comes up. So the morning commute might be a little reduced visibility. Not really, really low, but enough where you may notice some of that. And also a bit of patchy drizzle that could mix in. If we do get any snowfall, it's looking like it's not going to really stick to the roads too well. And so that's the good news, is looking like just mainly wet roadways for us. But if it does start to stick on some areas, it likely amounts to just a little bit of a slush. And so not too bad out there. It's not like we should have any major impacts or anything tomorrow morning, but we did want to give you a first alert to that system, which we'll break down in the hour-by-hour forecast. Once again, model's really robust in trying to get some sunshine in here late in the day. I'm not fully sold on it. I think we probably hold on to a bit more in the way of cloud cover than this model shows, but you see how the numbers jump if we do that. Lots of upper 30s in the southwest corner of the area, and then maybe near 40 degrees in a few lucky locations. We go down overnight to the low 30s. There's that system, and again, it looks just like kind of like a thin rope of a system as far as they look, moving across mid-Michigan. That'll be the case through the day tomorrow. We deal mainly with the snow in the morning, and then it begins to taper off by the afternoon. A couple returns try to stick around, as you see here, but any of those would likely be drizzle or very light snowflakes that don't accumulate heading into our Tuesday afternoon. And then overnight, we'll get back into cloud cover. Sticks around through Wednesday, which I do think is a dry day. Temperatures will climb back to near 40, and at the very end of the day, like today, we may get into some sunshine, but it's another one where we have more clouds than sun. However, as we go further out into this forecast, we're going to start to see some bigger changes. But first, we'll look at quickly the snowfall that we expect, because again, I don't think this will be a huge impactful system to us. Lansing there gets into that 1 to 2 range, but I think that's maybe up to an inch by Tuesday night. And I think, frankly, even that's a little overdone. So trace amounts is referring to anything on this map less than 1 inch. And I think that's what pretty much all of us end up with for this system tomorrow. So not a ton working our way, but we do have the warmth hanging around, and those above average temperatures carry into the first and second week of February. We're right in the bullseye again here in the Great Lakes for those warmer than normal temperatures. Of course, that doesn't mean that some people would consider it to be warm outside, but staying above normal. Average high is currently 30. On Wednesday, though, it goes to 31, which is moving now in the warming direction. And so all the way through July, we'll continue to warm our average temperatures up starting on Wednesday. So that's something to look forward to as well as we head into February, which starts Thursday with highs in the low to mid 40s, even if we have a little more in the way of cloud cover. And then, even though the numbers do go back to mid and upper 30s for 3-4 days, we bring in something we haven't seen a lot lately, and that is the sunshine. And so that'll be nice to have around. And we don't really have any snow in the forecast, and so I expect these next few days, we've already melted pretty much everything that's on the ground outside, but those piles have sort of stuck around. I expect we'll see a lot of the piles go away before this week is done. And then heading into the weekend, even though temperatures may be cold enough at night to get some snow, we just don't have any systems in the area. So it's likely that we're going to keep the snow away for a little while here. And by the middle of next week, those numbers go up to 42 on that Wednesday, which I believe would be February 7th. And then if I could take it one more day out into Thursday, I'd have that number at 47 or 48. And so we're going to start warming things back up. You might see that in the 10-day forecast later on, our evening look in our newscasts that are coming up. But that's sort of where we're headed. So tail of the tape is just one quick disturbance tomorrow morning mainly. And other than that, not really many weather woes this week. And so it'll be nice to get the sunshine back in regardless of what the temperatures are. I think a lot of people would agree to that. It's just been so gloomy around here as of late. And so really bringing some of that sun back in would be nice to have. And that's what we'll hope to do as we switch the calendar here into February on Thursday, which already a month into 2024. We're moving right along.
We are. Well, Justin, I got a question for you.
All right.
And I know how you meteorologists sometimes feel. I don't want to say you meteorologists. I know how the meteorologists feel when Groundhog's Day approaches. And I see
yes.
We're looking at Groundhog's Day, and right to the left of it, we're seeing the clouds. We're seeing that chance for the snowfall. But then on the flip side of it, we're seeing all the sun. So with that, What do you think the groundhog is going to say?
Oh, see, that's a good question.
Or even better yet, because you have the knowledge more than a groundhog, right?
I do?
They're just coming out. You do. Regardless of what other people say, I stand with the meteorologist.
Yeah, I would
what
just
do
say,
you predict?
we love to share the stat, and I'm sure we will before the week is done, but the groundhog is not right very often. It's actually very rare that the groundhog is correct. And I know that it's a fun gimmick, and I know that people who buy into it don't like really think that the groundhog dictates the seasons.
But there are some people.
And that's a shock to a lot of people out there. Very surprising news. But the groundhog, I remember it was either last year or the year before, said he saw his shadow, and I called you know what on that, because we were looking at it, and the whole day before and the whole weekend leading up and then the whole morning of, it was literally snowing sideways. There was no snow anywhere. They had 0 seconds of sunshine for 4 days leading up to it. And then, oh, he saw his shadow. I said, yeah, because you got camera bulbs flashing. Of course he saw his shadow. And come on. Anyway, it's become a big event, and it's fun, and I enjoy it, and I enjoy the camaraderie. All this to say, I do think he sees his shadow this year.
Okay, so you do think we get an earlier spring?
I think when he sees his shadow, it's 6 more weeks.
Oh shoot, you're right.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes, but yes, I think he's going to see his shadow. Whether or not we actually do or don't have 6 more weeks of winter, we're going to have to wait and see, because the calendar will tell you that no matter what he says, we're going to have 6 more weeks of winter when you're talking about the season itself. But whether or not the weather is like that, I don't know. Flip a coin. Do whatever you want. I'm sure that's what the groundhog's handlers do. I know Woody Woodchuck, I'm sure, will be putting out a thing too. So we'll look forward to that and Punxsutawney Phil's prediction and see how it all goes. So let the fun continue.
Oh yes, this is what you can look forward to the next 10 days from our meteorologists. I was gonna make a little joke there, but never mind.
All right, that's
the professional groundhogs.
The professional groundhogs, yes.
Sense.
Earning that salary. Punxsutawney Phil, get him a nice breakfast.
There you go.
On Friday morning. We'll see how it goes.
Well, other than that, though, when we move past the system, past Groundhog's Day, it's looking nice in the area. So that's something to look forward to.
That's good news. Dry weather is great, especially this time of year to have, and so we'll be able to enjoy some fairly smooth travels and other things. You have any plans or activities moving around, shouldn't be a problem over these next 2 weeks here.
All right, well, sounds good. Anything else to make note of?
That's about it. Look forward to that big prediction from our pal, the groundhog.
Yes, and for any changes in the forecast, download the First Alert weather app.
Yeah, greatest tool to have. And of course, we always tout it. Interactive weather, severe weather alerts, your most accurate forecast. We're updating this so frequently and constantly, and you get all the latest information on what to expect. When there are those changes, we've got you covered. It's a great tool, once again, to have, whether you are here or traveling in mid-Michigan, out of the country. You know, it's a great tool. And it's very user-friendly. And so we hope you like it. We hope you use it. And if you don't like it, let us know why you don't like it, and we'll try to improve that. So,
yeah.
But I think it's pretty good, personally.
Oh, it's a great tool. And so many different ways to view your forecast. And it's updated frequently. So there you go.
That's right.
All right. Well, we will see you at 3 o'clock, Justin.
Yep,
Studio 10, followed by First at 4 in our 90 minutes of news, which Andy will do the 90 minutes of news.
Yes.
But you'll see Justin for Studio 10 as well as First at 4. So we'll let you get ready for that.
Right.
Thank you.
Sounds good.
And here's what to expect coming up during First at 4 on Mid-Michigan Matters today. This might give you some stress. You might have some mixed feelings about this, like I do. Taxes. They are here. Today you can start filing your state and federal taxes. And so getting those W-2s, those 1099s, all those forms, and, you know, just getting everything together so that you can either, we dropped the microphone, either get a refund eventually, or even you may have to pay some money back. So it's best to start gathering everything now. I've put off taxes in the past, and let me tell you, it is quite stressful towards the end. So just make sure that you're tuning in during Mid-Michigan Matters today. We'll tell you what you need to know. Then coming up, News 10 at 5, Fred Heumann will be talking Lions as Detroit fell to San Francisco last night to end their playoff run. That score again, 34-31. So close, Lions. We are so proud of you, though. And coming up, News 10 at 5:30, many people don't know that up to 1 in 5 new mothers can experience postpartum depression. So the symptoms, like low energy and mood and inconsistent sleep, are similar to depression at any time in life. Now, there's a new drug approved by the FDA, and that is specifically treating postpartum depression. So we'll explain more on what it is and what you need to know about it coming up News 10 at 5:30. News 10 at 6, we're in Lansing, where a car is being recovered from a pond near an apartment complex. So you'll see the efforts to remove the vehicle coming up on News 10 at 6. Again, that is what we have coming up today during our 90 minutes of news. I do have Justin Kent standing next to me here to share what you have coming up during our 90 minutes of news.
Yeah, we spoke with some Lions fans today. Obviously, a little bit of a heartbreak. I know everybody's kind of feeling the same mood, but also a little optimism. A little optimism out there. I think there's some fans that are pretty encouraged with how far we've gone and just the team that we have. We have a lot of young rookies, and I think that's such an exciting thing moving forward. So we'll hear from them and see what they have to say, including we revisited one of our super fans. He's the guy that worked at the sports bar, Ryan's Roadhouse.
Okay.
Man, he is a major Lions fanatic. He is super heartbroken today, but we'll definitely catch up with him and see how he's doing. So, yeah, we'll have that story for you guys at 6 o'clock.
All right, News 10 at 6. And so, if you're feeling sad or feeling optimistic, overall, quite a great season for the Lions. All right, News 10 at 6. We'll see you soon, Justin.
All right.
Before I tease what our other reporters have coming up today, you know, you may be feeling temporarily sad or disappointed with the Lions' loss or whatever is going on, but sometimes those feelings stick around for longer. And sometimes it may feel like those emotions are consuming you. You don't know what to do with the emotions. Well, part of our You're Not Alone mental health series all year long here on News 10 is providing resources to those who may not know where else to go. So know that you're not alone. We are speaking to community members. We're speaking to health professionals, mental health professionals, speaking on what you need to know when it comes to mental health. So whether this has to do with stress, anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts, anything like that, know that you're not alone. There are resources out there for you that you can go into. Actually, if you use your cell phone's camera and pull it up, you will see a list of resources around the mid-Michigan area. And so just a great thing to have on your phone, whether it's for you, whether it's for someone else. You can have that on your phone and be able to learn more about the different resources throughout our community. So again, right there on your screen is the QR code. Again, bring out your cell phone's camera and you will be able to pull up those resources. So that is what we have coming up. And something else to note, the most recent one that we talked about is talking about alcoholism and how it can affect those at all ages, no matter what your age is. So go ahead, check out You're Not Alone mental health series for those resources, or you can head to our website, wilx.com, and you are able to see a lot more of the stories that we've touched on already, talking about veterans, talking about cyber mental health with children, and even addiction. So many more topics focusing on mental health. Go check that out again on our website, wilx.com. That is what we have coming up today. Our other reporters getting many great stories going throughout the Mid-Michigan area, so make sure to tune in. And of course, lots more Lions talk coming up Studio 10 during Mid-Michigan Matters and our 90 minutes of news, so make sure to tune in then. Again, great season, Lions. But until then, enjoy the rest of your week and have a great one.